Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today we're going to look at these guys, these Chauvet D-Fi XLRs, particularly the XLR pack. We're going to effectively unbox it. We're going to show you how it works, teach you how to get the most out of it, and then last but not least give you our thoughts as to whether these are a good value in wireless DMX or not, and who ultimately they're good for. Let's dive in. So, when you get the box, unboxing is actually really stinking simple because, well, they're in a box, and you open up the box, what you're going to see is a tray. In that tray, you've got, on top of the tray, you've got the manual. We'll get to the manual in a minute. The charging base for the D-Fi XLRs itself, the power cord, and then the 4 D-Fi XLRs if you bought the D-Fi XLR pack. Okay? So, the basic premise behind the D-Fi XLRs, which I love, I think this is so stinking cool, is they're a really inexpensive way to get transmitters and receivers for wireless DMX through on the 2.4 gigahertz band. And so these are great for, short distance, quick setups, easy to use wireless. I've been using these for about a week here just in the office in the studio. I need to run things. I keep one of these plugged into the console. I flick it on. I flick on another one. I plug it into a fixture somewhere in the room if I'm testing it or what have you, and I don't have to run a cable. The maximum distance on these unobstructed is 164 feet. That's the official spec from Chauvet. May they go longer? Yeah, but don't push it, right? And so, how do you use these things? They're pretty simple. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do whenever you're getting ready to go with one is grab one. Say you start with your transmitter. You keep them on the dock more often than not to charge them. The dock, the pack, is 3 receivers and 1 transmitter. Okay, and the docking station. You can add, there's space for 4 more transmitters or receivers in the dock. Okay. And then if you max that out, there are USB charging ports to charge more of them. So each unit has a micro USB on the back, just a standard micro USB, and you can charge it that way as well if you don't want to use the dock or if you just buy these without the D-Fi kit. Okay? Turning them on is really simple. So there's a little switch right here. We're going to turn it on. And then there's a menu key. Okay, so it might be hard to see on camera. You can see the lights there. But there's a green light that indicates the power, and then there are 5 lights that indicate the frequency. So you press this menu button, and you'll see those orange lights changing. Okay? The different combinations of orange lights are going to set the frequency or channel. They're listed in the book. So look at the book, or else just grab the PDF off Chauvet's website, so that you know what the channel numbers are. Now, all that to say, I don't believe these 16 channels line up perfectly with the Wi-Fi channels, because there are 16 of them and there are only 12 Wi-Fi channels, but that's okay. So here's what we're going to do. You want to set them all the same and then get them off to the races. I often recommend going to the top of the channels if you can. Okay, so let me go grab my phone really quick, and I want to show you a quick trick to be able to get the most reliable setup out of these D-Fi XLRs. Okay, I'm back. So one of the things that can really help figure out a good frequency to stick your D-Fi XLRs at is to grab a Wi-Fi analyzer app. This one's the City Theatrical DMX Cat app, which is free, and it has a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi scanner on it. So basically, the Chauvet D-Fi XLRs and D-Fi as a whole always has run on 2.4 gigahertz, which is where your standard Wi-Fi networks are. There's actually 2.4 and 5.6 gigahertz. 2.4 is the much more congested but cheaper and longer range band. So cheaper devices like these Chauvet units are going to operate there. Okay, so then what do we do? Okay, how do we set these guys to the right frequency? Well, if you grab a Wi-Fi scanner app, again, I'm using the City Theatrical DMX Cat, but there are others, then you can pop it up wherever you are and see all of the frequencies across the 14 Wi-Fi channels where there's information that's hitting your phone in that spot. You'll be able to see what's strong and what's weak and where there is space. Now, Chauvet doesn't tell us on here, and I didn't see it anywhere else, what frequency each channel corresponds to. But we can see here that they run from 2.412 to 2.484 gigahertz across the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. And Wi-Fi networks, in general, don't get set any higher than channel 12. So like if I look at where I'm standing, for example, channels about 11 through 14 are the most open channels in my spot. So in that case, I'm going to go with 16 right here, go to the very top channel, and set all of my units to that. In that case is all the lights on. And so I would set my transmitter, all the lights on. So 4 lights on. I would set all my receivers to the same, test it, see if it works. Well, if it doesn't, you may have to try a different channel. Okay, getting your transmitter as well up in the air, clear line of sight to the receivers is always going to help too. All right, so now for the review portion. What do we actually think of these things? You know, the Chauvet DJ, these little wireless transmitters and receivers on their D-Fi are pretty stinking awesome. I found the battery life to be really great on whatever Chauvet says it is. That's terrible. But I think they run 6-8 hours, something like that. I feel I've really run them longer than that, and they've been fine. They run great. They're meant for, you know, doing a setup, plugging these into various places, and then, you know, running your gig. It's not multi-day stuff, you know, it's not real long. They're not meant for being plugged in all the time either. So do be aware of that. They're designed for portable use. But if, you know, that fits your cup of tea, if you're good with portable use, you know, you're not using it permanently, you're fine with 2.4 gigahertz, aka you're not in Times Square, and you can scan, check your frequencies with an app, and then be able to find something open and clear, and, you know, build quality wise, you know, they're acceptable. For what these things cost, they're really inexpensive. The build quality is really fine, and, you know, they're going to work well for you. Now, with any wireless, especially in 2.4 gigahertz, I would say always have that backup plan. Even if you're running to the gig, you intend to plug in the wireless and rock and roll and be good to go, have some cables along just in case. Okay, because you never know when you're going to be in a wireless environment where there's a bunch of network equipment or something that's broadcasting at really high levels and blocking you out. Or maybe the president shows up and then you're toast. All your wireless is going to not work well. So that being said, or a big TV filming. So that being said, the Chauvet D-Fi wireless XLR pack with the transmitters, receivers are really cool. They, you know, work with any brand of lights, which I love, not just Chauvet stuff. They're really well priced. And if you find yourself often just, you know, setting up quick setups where you just need some wireless DMX, doesn't have to be on for a really long time, then I definitely would recommend taking a look at these. Of course, we've got them at Learn Stage Lighting Gear, as well as anything from Chauvet and so many other brands. We would love to help you. So if you watch this review and you need lighting, come to the experts. We're here to help you, and we would love to become your dealer for everything lighting, and actually AV and audio and video as well. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you at Learn Stage Lighting Gear. Link below. Thanks.